Hello and welcome to Big Nim Numismatics. Today I have another awesome video. I have an entire box of PCGS Rattlers with the original box. I have some NGC Fatties and some nicer type coins. First off, I'm going to go with one of the first actual coins graded by CAC. So, first impression of seeing quite a few of these, certainly not as different as people are thinking. You know, when CAC first started, it was like, this is only going to be, you know, extremely high quality coins in their holders, and, you know, anything that's like a borderline coin is going to get bumped back down. But they're pretty in line with NGC and PCGS. They are tending, from what I've seen, to, you know, instead of net grading really low, they're just straight up detailing the coin. So they're a little bit less lenient on that. But overall, I mean, just like NGC or PCGS, so unfortunately getting seeded coins in these holders aren't going to be as difficult as I first assumed. And, you know, as far as quality, I think PCGS and then CAC is going to have an average higher quality than just the slabs. So next up is this really nice 1913 Type 1. 1913 Type 1s are my favorite Buffalo nickel. I love the, you know, the relief, the detail. They struck up very well. The fields have that, you know, lemon peel, I guess, orange peel, that I really like. I love the texture. It's really a tiny piece of art. This one has a great strike. Just a tint of really nice color as well. I'm not a huge fan of the really toned, like, White Raymond ones on Buffalo nickels for whatever reason, or nickel coins in general. I like this, like a light pastel, you know, something that just looks like it came from, you know, an envelope or something. But really neat. This is about a $200 to $225 coin. And these have been gaining some strong prices as well. When I first started collecting, and when I first bought one of these, an MS65 would have been like a $100 coin max. So they've doubled. Next are some NGC Fatties. Braided hair half cent. 1851 or 1853 is the most common, especially in the higher grades. I did have an MS66 brown CAC at one point, and I regret getting rid of that. But half cents and early copper in general, grading it on surface preservation, or rather contact marks, is not the best way at all to grade the coins. Most of these were kept very well. They were kept in kegs, so they don't have the bag marks like silver coins. And so you're really judging it off of luster and spotting. You know, it doesn't have the cartwheel effect like a Morgan, but it does have some great luster for a 3. It does have this pretty large spot to the edge of the coin. Overall, really nice coin. the braided hair half-cents are probably my favorite aesthetic with historical significance coins. So this is a great medium for big history and great design. It's about a $500 coin, and the color is exactly what I would want for a half-cent. Next is actually a really tough coin in NGC Fatties. So NGC did not grade modern coins up until the mid-1990s. But they did, however, grade 1984 and 1972 double dies. And first off, the coin is beautiful. There's some light spotting, a fingerprint or something to the right. But overall, I think calling this a 4 is pretty harsh. Not a huge jump between 4, 5, and 6. And 7, there's a really, really big jump. Great luster. Fields are very satiny. And just a really cool coin. This is probably like a $600 to $800 coin, depending on how much of a premium the holder will bring. Overall, really neat coin. Next is a PCI toned commemorative dollar. So most of the coins found in these holders are, the common Morgans and Silver Eagles that tone this way. So it's really neat to have, a commem. And it's also interesting to see how the different series tone in the holder. So next we have the rattle box. So picking up on double dies, this is a really, really nice 1984 double die. It's very strange seeing like a 1980s memorial set in a Rattler, but with the double die they did slab these. And on the 1984, you're not looking for the date or Liberty or any of the lettering. You're actually looking at the profile. So you can see the second ear below and actually another chin below. So if you're looking for 1984 double dies, don't look at just the lettering. But very brilliant, very red. And this is, in the Rattler, I might be able to squeeze 600-700 out of it. It's a fairly hard coin to find in Rattler, and a really hard coin to cack. The holders eat through a lot of copper coins. Next are some half dollars. The 1937 is pretty eye-appealing. Has a really nice skin. Not a ton of any distracting marks. But the line on her leg and up through the belly is a bit blended. Reverse is rather nice. It's about a $250 coin. This is just an average common Rattler. About a $110 coin. Next is actually a really, really nice commem. MS63 seems harsh. I like the surfaces. Seems there's some PVC. And this is not a $300 coin anymore, at least. The most I could possibly see it selling is like $250. But so this was probably sold in like the 1990s when Rattlers were crazy high. And the rest of the box is just, you know, common Rattlers. And these have been bringing so much money lately, it's mind-boggling. Every time I see a new price realized, this seems to be going up, and I don't particularly understand it. Here's a rather scarce compared to every other Rattler. An 1881 Philadelphia with really nice surfaces, almost PL. Super cool coin. And like the like common 62s are going for like over $100 in some instances. MS63s are like $125. And then MS64s and 65s are really shooting up. Really flashy 81S. Early San Francisco dollars are always made extremely well. Here's a really nice 64. Super flashy. And a couple 65s. But overall, you know, the market is still pretty strong. And it's nice to see, especially the nice coins. The details coins are dropping in value, which I think is for the better. You know, weirdly enough, I think this 1913 is my favorite for the group. It just has that pop when you look at it that makes you say, I want this. But let me know what your favorite is in the comments. Pretty awesome to have an entire box. But, no, thanks for watching, and have a great day.